I know you're an inspiration, you're a motivation, and you talk a lot about, that integrity, the no excuses, the attitude, the be a man, obviously acronym in terms of what that stands for, in terms of taking ownership, taking pride, the hard work that goes into it. And I know a lot of that comes from your upbringing, obviously, in terms of New York City, the Bronx. You talked about Fordham Prep. I was lucky enough to attend, your induction there to their Hall of Fame, and that was so obviously well deserving. I'm happy. I know you're aware of this, but some of the folks in our audience are not. Happy to tell some folks, though COVID has delayed our scheduling of this, we're excited that you've been voted into our Fordham Athletics Hall of Fame, and your DNA, your integrity, that everything you just spoke about in terms of building a culture and environment, and all the grit and determination that you have in your life, and that makes you who you are, whether it be in your business world, as a coach, as a philanthropist, as a father, as a family man. Like I know it all comes to fruition from your upbringing and your grounding of who you are and where you're from. And one of the things I loved in your office was a photo of, I believe it was your family's grocery store, Coach. Yeah. And that hit home for me. I'm a Queens kid. I'm not a Bronx kid, but it meant a lot to me in terms of, we all know, Joe, New York City is a land of no excuses, right? If you have an excuse in New York City, you're not going to make it. And I know that's exactly who you are. Talk to me about, obviously, the excitement, what it means to be, hopefully it'll be next October, hopefully it'll be around homecoming here at Rose Hill, but to be inducted into our Fordham Rams Hall of Fame. And you represent everything that is the Jesuit mission, in terms of opportunity, in terms of hard work, in terms of integrity, in terms of that grit and determination. And you, from my standpoint, represent everything what a Fordham man is. So I love your thoughts on that.
Well, Ed, first of all, thank you for saying all that. And by the way, people from my neighborhood used to go to Queens on vacation. So don't act like Queens is such a tough spot. Being inducted, I love Fordham. Like I said, when I decided I went back, when I decided I was going to go back to football, I was only going to stay in it if I could get a Division I head football job. And I spent 2 years in Nebraska, then half a year in the UFL, and then the opportunity came at Coastal. But my dream would have been to be the head football coach at Fordham. And that's also back home to me. So frankly, I have no doubt that if that dream had been realized, I'd probably still be the head coach of Fordham, unless I got fired. But I think we would have done fine, and very, very proud to have done that and returned back home. So I've always had a love for Fordham, and I was married and had a family when I was going to Fordham, and I had to pay every dime of my education. I also had to support my wife and child, so it wasn't necessarily easy. So my freshman year, I'm driving a cab, yellow cab, New York City. I'm driving a truck for the post office. I'm working at my father's fruit store. That wasn't the most fun a freshman ever had in the history of college freshmen. And I realized that was also the first year of my life we didn't have sports. So the next year, Fordham Prep gave me an opportunity to coach there. So I began sophomore, junior, senior. I coached at the Prep during the season, and I worked at my father's store in the off season. Majored in economics. I wanted to go to Wall Street. I always enjoyed that business perspective, but I love the coaching so much. You got so much satisfaction out of it. That's when I decided if I could get a head job by the time I was 22, I would take it. And if not, I try to get to Wall Street. So you take that through over the span of my lifetime, to be inducted, later on, Fordham University, which I feel very, very much part of. But, I didn't play at Fordham because I was doing what I was doing. I was married, I had a family, et cetera. And I was coaching while I was at Fordham, but I was coaching at Fordham Prep, not Fordham University. And so for Fordham to frankly recognize, what I have accomplished from an athletic perspective. And I do think I represent, the Jesuit mission. And I do think I represent Fordham well. I know I represent Coastal Carolina really well. And I certainly believe the same thing as far as Fordham goes. That's certainly one of my great honors. And so I'm very, very grateful for that. And just the fact that it's happened, even though it hasn't officially happened because we haven't had an event with regard to that, that's always going to be one of the special honors of my life that means so much to me. So I'm very, very grateful for that.
I appreciate it, Joe. I don't want to take up much more of your time. I know you need to prepare now for BYU and shift gears for
Well, I'm not preparing for BYU. But the guys are preparing for BYU.
I got a feeling you're going to keep an eye on things, and obviously it's exciting to get everybody in the Chance family down there ready for Saturday. There's a lot to be excited about, from I'm sure your alumni base, to the local community, to everyone on campus. We thank you so very much for your time. I know the Fordham family, all the Fordham alums here in New York City and the tri-state area are going to be pulling for you on Saturday. I got to say, I'm super excited for you. I know we all are, and wish you nothing but the best and best of luck.
I very much appreciate that. One quick story, Ed, that is, when Moorhead was coaching at Fordham and you were doing so well, and we were doing well, and it was once, twice that you went to the playoffs, and I was approached a couple of times, but what do you think about playing Fordham? And I said, I don't want to play Fordham. I don't want to play. I'm not worried about what's going to happen in the game. I just don't want to play Fordham. It'd be too emotional for me. I don't want to go through that anxiety. I don't want to look at the jerseys and the uniforms. I want to be able to do that. So it's an honor for me again. I wish you all the best of luck, and especially through the COVID. And again, let's take advantage of the time that we do have now, but eventually it's all going to be behind us. So Ed, I thank you very, very much. Appreciate it. Joe, thank you for helping out with the communication. Go Fordham, go Coastal.